And so long as we stay here, those sort of constraints will continue. And which brings us back to the reason why we must go home.
Mm-hmm. As the only Marcos son, and as the man bearing the name Ferdinand Marcos, do you think of pursuing your political career and taking up the cudgels for the Filipino people where your father is left off?
Well, you know, the only way I can answer that question is really to give you a general idea of where my priorities lie. As I mentioned before, obviously there have been many accusations leveled against the family, and all those have to be answered. Secondly, the family cannot be allowed to just exist or just survive within the political milieu in the Philippines. There must be an element of self-determination in terms of our lives. And certainly we will work towards that, i.e. the legal questions must be resolved. The legal accusations must be answered. We must be able to live a life that is dignified and honorable. And it's a simple wish, but it seems to be something that they're not willing to give us, and therefore I will do everything I can to achieve that. As to a political career, well, it would seem that most of the time one finds oneself in a political career because of something that one believes in. Considering what has happened in the last 3 years, it would seem that is the sort of direction that one would inevitably take. I would certainly champion any cause that would try and right any injustice in the Philippines. If there's one thing the old man has instilled, I think, in all of us children, is a great nationalism and a great desire for equality and egalitarianism in the country. And should anything stand in the way of that, I will certainly work against it. If that takes a political identity, then so be it. I think that's actually getting ahead of ourselves, because simply the problems of the family are enormous and must be reckoned with before any of this sort of thing can be dealt with. As usual, when it comes to question of political career and things like that, it's really not for one to decide. It's not for me, it's not for you to decide. If the people ask you, then you must go, you must serve. If they do not, then you can't. And that's generally how that will be determined.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, okay, okay.